it's interesting in terms of Chicago. In a way, this is the best of times for the city and the worst of times for the city. With President-elect Obama winning his election, I mean, it's been a long time since somebody from a big city won the presidency, and it's been never since Chicago supplied the president, and it's been since Abraham Lincoln that the state supplied the president. So this was a great moment of enormous pride for the city of Chicago. And to have right on the heels of that, this moment of great, I don't know what you want to say, disgrace, demoralization for the city and the state is a really amazing juxtaposition, and it's just an incredible time for the city. I think this is surely one of the more spectacular corruption scandals that we've seen in recent years and maybe decades. One of the striking things about it is that it doesn't just affect the individual involved. And if you think back at like the Duke Cunningham case or the Jack Abramoff case, they tended to affect an individual or maybe a couple individuals. But here we're talking about a Senate seat that is literally at stake. And now the process for choosing that new senator is going to be completely upended. Who that person was going to be may well be changed. And because we're talking about a home state and a home city, really, of President-elect Obama, the ramifications are going far beyond the actions of one individual. Leaders of Illinois, led by Senator Dick Durbin, are now talking about holding a special election. Ordinarily, this seat would have been filled by Governor Blagojevich appointing a senator, and really it would have been at his sole discretion. That's what's so dramatic about this. Now it's not clear who that person would be. I mean, Governor Blagojevich is still governor. There's a lieutenant governor, and so forth. But I think state leaders felt that any decision made by the governor or anyone in his administration would be tainted now. And so therefore, there is a strong push to have a special election to select the next senator. And that's not how things otherwise would have been done. And just a couple points about that. It really does affect things. For example, I know leaders of the African American community feel like they would have less of a chance with a statewide special election than they would have if it had just been the appointment of the governor. Also, there's a chance that a Republican could win, after all. Illinois is a very Democratic state, and I still think that's unlikely, but it's certainly not out of the question. Whereas if the appointment were being made by a Democratic governor, clearly the next senator would have been a Democrat. So it really does throw things into flux in more ways than one. Clearly, President-elect Obama and Governor Blagojevich had some relationship, as you might expect from two political figures that are dominant in their states and that are from the same party. Obama has also tried to distance himself in recent years from Governor Blagojevich, who again was deeply unpopular, even setting aside any of the ethical questions that have now arisen. So the relationship seems to have been there, but not necessarily to have been terribly close. But the truth is it's still murky, and a lot of those details have yet to emerge. But it's probably worth saying and important to say that the prosecutor himself stressed that President-elect Obama is in no way being implicated, charged, suspected, anything like that. There's been an ongoing attempt, and perhaps a not surprising one on the part of the Republicans, to talk about a whole culture of corruption in Chicago that President-elect Obama is not completely free from. That's their argument, and one you'd expect the opposition party to make. But at the same time, there really hasn't been any indication that President-elect Obama or anybody in his team has been involved in this, and that's probably an important point to make as well. For the Wall Street Journal, this is Naftali Ben-David in Washington.